Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's good? What's crackling? What's popping? It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It is Tuesday, October 14th, and it is 3:07 in the AM. And I'm finally getting to the video I said I was going to create about a conversation I had yesterday. Periodically, I'm going to call my best bud. We went to seminary together, and she has taken her studies to new heights. Now, when we went to seminary together, she was already ordained and sanctioned through the church that she grew up in. And the church that we met at, that we were recognized together, they upheld her ordination. So she taught some of the newer ministers, which I being one. And then she wanted to have the official book learning, as I like to say, and parchment stating that, she is truly a reverend. She attended seminary. Now, I attended the same seminary for the certificate of ministry study. And we went together. She went through that. Then she began her college courses. She went through that. See, in order to be ordained through this particular school, you had to take the college courses, and it is a fully accredited college. I was busy working and trying to maintain my standard of living, if you can call it that. So I did not attend the university. She did. She finished and was again ordained. Now she's studying through her new home church for another ordination through another denomination. And, having learned from her, I like to call her a preaching, teaching fool. No. She comes from a church family. Her mother was a church musician. Her brother was a church musician. She can sing her behind off. But she's been robbed of her voice because of sarcoidosis. She's been robbed of her vision because of sarcoidosis. But she is still preaching and teaching. And every so often, I'll call her to check up on her, see how her health is, see, what's what. And we get to preaching on one another. Notice how my vernacular has changed. We get to preaching. We have church on the phone. Albeit, my language is a little edgy these days. And I want to say, I was ordained 2 years ago. I don't even remember. I'll have to go look at my paper in the closet, but I completed the certificate of ministry studies. And for whatever reason, the college no longer has our records. I guess they were stored in the basement, and there was a flood or some natural event, and our records are no longer present. Now, we were in classes with a bunch of Samoan guys, real sweethearts, who were Wesleyans. And, I know they went on to become ministers as well. But, for whatever reason, our records were lost. And I still have letters from the school with some of my grades. And I have a student ID card, but that's about all I have. I don't have a certificate of completion or anything. But that's neither here nor there. So as we were having this conversation yesterday, I touched on something that I'm finding increasingly irritating, and I want you guys to throw some opinions and thoughts on this level of conversation. Throw some logs on the fire, if you will. I have become increasingly irritated with folks who say that they are ride or die. In other words, they show up for you when you ask them to, or when they intuitively feel that something is off with you. The folks that come check up on you. And then there's the folks that are more concerned with their image than they are with their character, that say that they're ride or die. And I've experienced this in a very real and profound way. And, I've given thought to it. And, I like to share. When I'm telling my story, I like to share my level of accountability. Because things don't happen in a vacuum. And a lot of times there's a disconnect, because if you heard me say in the earlier video, lust has an expiration date. And we're quick to call lust love in order to justify, I want to say, our movements and manipulations. That part. Now, in talking about movements and manipulations, the people who are more concerned with their image don't care about their manipulations. And there's a fine line between being manipulative and just being flat out abusive. Now, manipulation is a form of abuse, but I mean the level of abuse that leaves you bruised, battered, torn, and questioning your own sense of being, your self-worth, your self-value. And, we like to attribute that to the enemy, if you will. And we fail to see the indwelling of said enemy. Now, people who are concerned about their character can be held accountable. And those ride or die friends that are concerned about their character, they'll still show up because they're loyal to you and they love you. But they're going to tell you about your happy self before, during, and after, whatever it is that you're trying to do. And I can say in a surety that I'm that person. And that's what pretty much causes the falling out. Because I'm telling you about yourself. And I am irritating you because I'm just supposed to blindly go along or blindly co-sign poor behavior. Yeah, that part. And I struggle with, I want to say sometimes self-worth, because I run into so many people that drain that sense of being, that sense of character. As I've gotten older, not so much, but, I think about some of the things that have had long-lasting effects, and it was because I was ride or die without questioning. I was ride or die without connecting and correcting. I was ride or die because I had lustful desires. And I had to look at that. And I had to check myself. Because all of these things have caused some long-term residual triggers, put it like that. Where do you stand in this image and character conversation? That's my question to you.